Good morning children. Welcome to online classes DEO Nalgonda. This is Veena from ZPHS Araballi Mandal Nidmanur. Today we are going to learn about 6th class English Unit 7, that is PT Usha the Golden Girl. Now children, open your text, page number 90. Here you observe a picture. This is face sheet. You observe a picture of a woman running in the field. Okay, here we have few questions about this picture. First one is, which sport is shown in the picture? Come on children. Yes, this is a running sport. And then, how many sports and games do you know? You know a lots of games and sports. Then, which sport or game do you play? Yes, you play many games and sports in your school as well as at your home. What is the difference between a sport and a game? Yes children, there is a little difference, that is, a sport is played by a single person and a game is played by a group of players. Then, fifth one, how important are sports or games for everyone? Yes, you know, sports are very important for our physical and mental balance and development. Okay children, now we are going to the lesson, that is in page number 91. Yes, paragraph number 1. PT Usha, India. This was the address on a letter from the Middle East. The letter was delivered by the postal department with no delay whatsoever. This was the status of Pilavulakkandi Tekkaparambil Usha, who was born as the second daughter of Paithal and Lakshmi Amma on 20th May 1964 in the village of Payoli, Kozhikode district, Kerala. So, this is the introduction of PT Usha. PT Usha, India, that was the address written by an envelope. And that letter immediately, without delay, without late, that letter was given to that person. Means that was the status. If we write a letter to another one, we must write the complete address. But here the address is only PT Usha, India, but the postal department gave the letter to PT Usha without delay. Means that was the status, that was the condition of that person. And she was born as second daughter to Paithal and Lakshmi Amma on 20th May 1964 in the village of Payoli, Kozhikode district, Kerala state. It was November 1973 when a dedicated physical education teacher called Balakrishnan discovered Usha while conversing with a parent. His eyes, ever watchful, kept drifting to a group of small girls playing blind man's bluff just across the field. Was there a pair of feet that were moving extraordinarily fast? Was the tiny, dark girl in her blue skirt and white blouse moving like an instinctive athlete? Patient as ever, Balakrishnan waited for the game to be over. Calling the little girl, he gently inquired of her, "What's your name, child?" The shy little girl hardly raised her eyes from the ground. "Usha," she whispered and added, "from class 4th. This was the introduction of her player life and that career. It was November 1973. At that time, one new teacher, one new PET master came to their school. His name was Balakrishnan. He saw some group of children were playing in the ground. They were playing a game, a blind man's bluff game they were playing. At that time, he was conversing with a parent, but he observed the extraordinary feet movement of a little girl. And an instinctive athlete means, here instinctive means a natural, here I wrote on the board, a natural athlete. By birth she has that ability to run very fast. After the conversation, he enquired that little girl and he asked that, what's your name? She said very shyly, sir, my name is Usha and I am from 4th standard. Now children, I want to ask some questions about these two paragraphs. First one, what was Usha's full name? Here it is in the capital letters in our text, that is Pilavulakandi Tekkaparambil Usha. Then tell about her family. Yes, their family, she was the second daughter. Her parents were Paithal and Lakshmi Amma and she was born in 1964. Then who discovered her talent first? Yes, you are right. A PET teacher called Balakrishnan discovered her talent first. Then which class was she studying then? Then she was very little girl, she was studying just 4th class. Now tell me children, who do you think Usha was? Yes, you are right. Usha was an athlete, a wonderful personality from our India. Come on children, let us go to the third paragraph. Thus was made one of the greatest discoveries in the athletic arena of Asia, a simple question from an observant master and an equally unassuming answer from a tiny village girl from a distant village in Malabar in Kerala. That same evening at 4:15 p.m., Usha heard the magical words for the first time in her life. On your marks, get set, go. The master had explained to her what to do and why. Confused, but very much aware of the seriousness of the occasion, she ran for her life. The rest is history. In 1975, Usha was 11 years old and was practicing vigorously for the sub-junior district meet, her first ever. With 3 days to go, Usha badly injured her heel while practicing for the long jump. The day of the event, all eyes were on her. She was so puny, so unbelievably tiny that she was the crowd's favorite ever before the race started. A white bandage on her heel won her even more sympathy. She came first in all the 4 events. She participated in 100 meters, 200 meters, long jump and high jump. She was also the individual champion at the meet. Yes, children, this was the greatest discovery in India from a school master. And this is the starting of a wonderful player's sports life. And at that day, when Balakrishnan sir observed that little girl, that day evening, he trained her. At 4:15 p.m. after the school hours, he told that Usha how to run and why to run and what to do and what not to do while she was running. And she was not know the real fume of that situation, but she was confused, but she understood that the seriousness of the teacher and she ran for her life. And in 1975, when she was 11 years old, she was practicing vigorously, means very strong and actively, and she was selected to sub-junior district meet. But before the race started, 3 days ago, she was badly injured to her heel. But she was practiced very well. At that event, she was the favorite sports person on the favorite, that group, and the race was started, and she made a lots of sympathy because her heel was damaged, her heel was covered by a bandage. That's why all the people gathered, the audience were sympathy on her. She won the 4 races she was participated. Those are 100 meters, 200 meters, long jump and high jump. And as well as she got the individual championship at that meet. And last paragraph of this page, academically Usha was an extremely bright student. She was always amongst the top 3 in her class and was popular with her teachers. She passed her standard 7th exams with a first class grade. Just then, the government of Kerala announced a separate sports division for girls at Kannur, a town with special facilities for sports in addition to regular studies. And this is also another turning point in her life. She was not only a good sports person, as well as she was an extremely bright student in her class. She was also the favorite student of all teachers. At that time, she passed the 7th class with higher grade. And at that moment, the Kerala government announced a separate sports school for girls in Kannur. This was also her another turning point. Then let us know about these 2 paragraphs with questions. What was the greatest discovery done by the PET sir, Balakrishnan sir? Yes, you are right. PT Usha's talent was discovered by him. Then, what were the magical words? Yes, the magical words are on your marks, get set, go. Then, what was her age when she participated in sports meet? Yes, she was just 11 years age. And turn the page. Usha joined the sports division at Kannur to improve her sport talent. She was left in the safe hands of C.H. Paithal, the headmaster of the school. It was at Kannur that another great master fired her imagination so much that together they achieved the impossible. His name was Madhavan Nambiyar. And in this school, she met with 2 wonderful personalities. The first one was their principal, headmaster, that was C.H. Paithal. And the second one was her coach, that was Madhavan Nambiyar, her PET sir. And by 1977, Usha and Nambiyar were inseparable, means they are not separated. Nambiyar had found the word he had been waiting for all his life, and Usha had found her guru. They both were extraordinary people. They met first time. The teacher as well as the student, they were best and they done best. Nambiyar would from now on care for her like a father. He was looking after Usha like a father. Usha's meticulous systematic training began in earnest. Here, meticulous means very careful, and systematic, dedicated training was very earnest. And next paragraph. Usha had a regular training run on the beach of Payoli. She preferred to be trained alone, for the vastness of the beach gave her a sense of freedom. She ran joyfully and freely, and she derived her strength from the serenity and peace of her beloved Kerala surroundings. Nambiyar introduced his sand training in her program to enhance her performance in the athletics just after the 1982 New Delhi Asian Games. Sand training had enhanced the performance of many great athletes, from Edwin Moses to top flight Indian athletes like Milkha Singh and Sriram Singh. Here, Madhavan Nambiyar introduced a new technique, that is sand training. She ran in the beach, that is her hometown, Payolis beach, and she was trained alone. Alone means single, and the vastness means the large beach and that calmness of the beach gave her a lot of joyness and freedom. And here he introduced the sand training as the famous sportsmen like Edwin Moses and Milkha Singh as well as Sri Ram Singh. Now children, I ask a question. Name some few personalities, famous personalities from India. Yes, you are right. Those are Milkha Singh, Sri Ram Singh. And here Usha's athletic achievements are well known to almost all Indians. 2 silver medals in the 1982 New Delhi Asian Games, 4th place in the 400 meters at the 1984 Jakarta Asian Meet, and 4 golds and 1 silver at the 1986 Asian Games in Seoul. These are the achievements in this paragraph. These are a few achievements of Usha is talking in this paragraph. She got in 1982 Asian Games, she got 2 silver medals and 4th place in 400 meter in 1984 Jakarta meet, and 4 golds and 1 silver at 1986 Asian Games conducted at Seoul. And Usha's story is that of a gifted child from humble origins achieving international success through sheer dedication and immense hard work. And here how she became as a great wonderful sports person means she was very humble and she was very dedicated and immense hard work. These qualities made her the wonderful sports person. Here, never in the history of independent India has a youngster from a remote background town of rural origin caught the imagination of youth in particular and the public in general as Usha has. These are the words said by a professor of her hometown. No one achieved as Usha's achievements from a remote background, and she was very humble and she got the attention of all Indians as well as all the world by a professor said these words. Okay children, now let us see what are the verb forms, V2 forms are there in our lesson. Okay, here I wrote on the blackboard. First one, deliver. This is V1 present form and it is changed as V2 past form, that is delivered. Dedicate, dedicated. Discover, discovered. Enquire, inquired. Find, found. Hear, heard. These are some verb forms which are in our text, and as well as we have some other forms in our lesson. Okay, that is instinct, instinctively, then observe, observation, extreme, extremely, imagine, imagination, serene, serenity. Like these many words are there, I wrote few of them. Okay children, hope you understand. Thank you. Good morning children, welcome to online classes DEO Nalgonda. This is Veena from ZPHS Errabelli. Today we are going to learn from 6th class English 7th unit C section, that is Ranji's Wonderful Bat. Children, we will enjoy a story from Ranji's childhood. Okay children, Open your text, page number 104. Here is a picture. Yes, you all know what picture is it? It is a cricket player is playing cricket. Okay, children. How is that? Shouted the wicket keeper, holding the ball up in his gloves. How is that? Echoed the fielders. How? Growled the fast bowler, glaring at the umpire. Out, said the umpire, and Suraj, the captain of the school team, was walking slowly back to the tool shed at the far end of the field. The score stood at 53 for 4 wickets. Another 60 runs had to be made for victory, and only one good batsman remained. All the rest were bowlers who could make many runs. Here, children, we all know about that game of cricket. How is that? How is that happened? What happened? Why we are all out in that game? All the players in one team was very upset. The captain of that school, Suraj, was also out from the game. He was also upset. Then it was Ranji's turn to bat. He was the youngest member of the team, only 11 but strong and bold. Here the turn of another player was there, that is Ranji. He was just 11 years old, but he was taken into that team because he was very bold and strong. Ranji prepared to face the bowler. The hard, shiny red ball came speeding towards him. The bowler made he threw the ball. The red and shiny ball was coming towards Ranji. Ranji was going to leap forward and play the ball back to the bowler. But at the last moment, he changed his mind and stepped back, planning to push the ball through the ring of fielders on his right or offside. The ball swung in the air, shot off the grass, and came through sharply to strike Ranji on his pads. Here, Ranji wanted to made a 6 or 4, but at that moment he changed his mind and he stepped back and he hit the ball, but he was out. The umpire raised a finger. Out, he said, and it was Ranji's turn to walk back to the tool shed. The match was won by the visiting team. Yes, all the players, all the good players, all the batsmen were out in the game. Just they had only 53 runs for 4 wickets. So the match was over and the team of Suraj and Ranji was, what happened? They were not win. The other team was win in the game. Never mind, said Suraj, patting Ranji on the back. You will do better next time. But their cricket coach was more strict. You will have to make more runs in the next game, he told Ranji, or you will lose your position in the side. Suraj, the captain, he just pat, don't worry Nana, don't worry, you will make best. But the PT master or the coach was very strict and he said that if you do not do more runs in the next match, you will remove from the team. Avoiding the other players, Ranji walked slowly homewards. He was very upset. He had been trying so hard and practicing so regularly, but when an important game came along, he failed to make a big score. Here, the Ranji practiced more and more at home, at school, but when an important match was there, he was failed. On his way home, he had to pass Mr. Kumar's sports shop. He liked to chat with the owner or look at all the things on the shelves, footballs, cricket balls, badminton rackets, hockey sticks, and balls of various shapes and sizes. Mr. Kumar had been a state player once and had scored a century in a match against Tanzania. Here, every day he was on the way, he just stopped on the shop. That is Kumar's sports shop. In that shop, he ready to observe all the sports items like balls and bats like that. Once Kumar also a state player. Turn the page, children, page number 106. But this was one day when he did not feel like stopping. He looked the other way and was about to cross the road when Mr. Kumar's voice stopped him. Hello, Ranji, why are you looking so sad? Lost the game today? But now today he was not interested to go into that shop. He was crossing the road. At that moment, Kumar stopped him and asked him, Hey Ranji, why are you looking so sad? Today also you lost the match? Ranji felt better as soon as he was inside the shop. Yes, we lost the match. He was very dull. Never mind, said Mr. Kumar. What would we do without losers? Anyway, how many runs did you make? Come on, tell me. What happened? How many runs you make? None. A big round egg means 0 rounds. I haven't made a good score in my last 3 matches, said Ranji. Uncle, I didn't have any better score from the last 3 matches. I will be dropped from the team if I don't do something in the next game. This is the main reason. He was dull. Okay, if I don't do many runs in the next game, I will be removed from the team. Well, we can't have that happening, said Mr. Kumar. Something will have to be done about it. Okay, Nana, don't worry. We will stop that removing. What shall we do? Okay, we will think about it. I'm just unlucky, said Ranji. Ranji said he was very dull and he said, no uncle, I am very unlucky. Maybe, but in that case, it's time your luck changed. Here, Mr. Kumar gave lots of encouragement to Ranji. Mr. Kumar began looking closely at a number of old cricket bats and after a few minutes he said, oh, and he picked up one of the bats and held it out to Ranji. That is it, he said. This is the luckiest of all my old bats. This is the bat I made a century with. Okay, now he he searched for all the bats in his shop and he took out a bat. Mr. Kumar took out a bat and he handed over to Ranji. Yes, don't worry Ranji, this is the luckiest bat and with this bat only I made century. So take it and practice with it and you will do better next match, he said. He held it out to Ranji. Here, take it. I will lend it to you for the rest of the cricket season. You won't fail with it. This is the luckiest bat. That's why you won't fail. Ranji took the bat and gazed at it with awe and delight. He was very happy. Delight means very happy. And he took the bat. Is it really the bat you made a century with? He asked. Is it right, uncle? He asked with delightment. It is, said Mr. Kumar. It may get you 100 runs too. Don't worry, it may get 100 runs, a century also. Ranji spent a nervous week waiting for Saturday's match. He asked Koki, the girl next door, to bowl to him in the garden. Okay, he practiced well in the whole week. And Koki bowled quite well. Koki, the next neighbor to him, he asked to bowl to him. At last Saturday arrived, bright and sunny. At last Saturday came, just right for cricket. Suraj won the toss for the school and decided to bat first. Again, their captain Suraj took the toss, won the toss, and he chose that he wanted to bat. The opening batsman put on 30 runs without being separated. The two batsmen being separated, they do 30 runs. The visiting fast bowlers could not do much. Then the spin bowlers came on, and immediately there was a change in the game. Normal bowling, they do 30 runs. When the spin bowlers came into that match, they are getting tense. 2 wickets fell in 1 over. Immediately, Ranji's team, they lost 2 wickets. And the score was 33-2. How much the score? Just 33. Suraj made a few quick runs, and then he too was out to one of the spinners caught behind the wicket. Suraj, the team captain, also out from the game, and it was Ranji's turn. This is the turn to Ranji to bat. Turn the page, children. He walked slowly to the wicket. The bowler took a short run, and then the ball was twirling towards Ranji. Here, the bowler made to attempt a good bowling, and then a thrill ran through Ranji's arm, and he felt the ball meet the bat. Here, Ranji got a thrill in his body, in his hands, and he hit the ball with his all strength. Crack! The ball hit firmly with the middle of Ranji's bat, streaked past the helpless bowler, and sped towards the boundary. 4 runs. Here he hit the ball with all his strength, and then he got 4 runs. And that was only the beginning. It's not end. It's only beginning. Now Ranji began to play all the strokes he knew. He played very well in that match. He sent the fielders scampering to all corners to the field. He hit the ball here and there and here and there. All the fielders scampered in the field. 20 minutes after lunch, when Suraj closed the innings, Ranji was not out with 58 and Ranji school won the match. Here Ranji made 58 runs and their team was won. On his way home, Ranji stopped at Mr. Kumar's shop. Again, as usual, he stopped Kumar's uncle's shop. We won, he said, and I made 58. Uncle, it's a lucky bat and we won the match and I made 58 runs. My highest score so far. This is the highest score in my life, in my cricket life. It really is a lucky and wonderful bat. Yes, uncle, you said that it's really a lucky bat. And thank you for giving me. Ranji told to Kumar. This story was written by Ruskin Bond. Okay, children, hope you understand. Thank you.